A Washington State deputy and a 15-year veteran of the force shot and killed in the line of duty on Friday. The tragic loss coming as the state implements sweeping new police reform laws today, including limits on the use of force and tear gas, and bans on chokeholds, neck restraints, and no-knock warrants.
But many police departments and law enforcement advocacy groups say they are concerned and even confused by the new laws and warning that they may backfire.
Let's bring in Seattle radio talk show host Jason Rantz. Jason, great to see you. Great to catch up with you as well down in Tampa at Turning Point. And you're all over this issue of what's happening in Seattle. One of the other issues is they're limiting what can be done in pursuits for law enforcement. So if you're a police officer in Seattle, how difficult is your job today?
It's incredibly difficult. And remember, it's not just about Seattle cops. It's about police officers all across the state. Democrats promised to reimagine policing, and now they're dismantling and rebuilding these police forces. Now, some agencies have flatly said they're going to stop responding to certain calls because of these new rules. Others will still respond, but when they actually get to the scene, it's going to be so much different. So, for example, use of force. Now, you can only use force, and force is defined by just physical touching. Imminent danger, you can get involved. Probable cause to make an arrest, you can get involved, and someone escaping detention. Now, why this is a particular concern is, let's say you get a mental health call. Someone is running around half naked in the community and he's causing an issue. You can't put your hands on that person even to get them to go into your vehicle for involuntary commitment. That's how these laws are so generally written. So now officers are not going to be able to do anything in most of these situations until after a crime had been committed. And so obviously you can see some of the concern there. And in many of the cases, remember, when dealing with someone who's going through a mental health crisis, there's no probable cause because likely there isn't an actual crime being committed at that moment, but you could still help. Unfortunately, now cops are hamstrung.
Yeah, and then we wonder why police officers are not, are retiring, or we don't see any new recruits. I have family, Jason, who lives in Seattle, and they say that, the park near them, and they live in a very nice neighborhood, they can't use it because now the homeless have taken over that area. How much more can the citizens, or are those citizens of Seattle willing to take before they say enough is enough? We actually need law enforcement.
I keep wondering the same thing. I keep saying, look, we're going to have to hit rock bottom before the city of Seattle and, some other cities in the state actually turn things around. And I always think that we've actually hit rock bottom. Turns out that we haven't quite yet. I don't think people realize how dangerous these changes have been made. And this was all being done in the name of police accountability. But understand that a new law goes into effect today, prohibits the use of weapons that fire rounds 50 caliber or larger. Well, that includes beanbag guns, right? So you can't use beanbags, which is a less lethal force than using your traditional handgun. They didn't think this through. It doesn't make any sense.
Got to see what the downstream effects will be, Jason, like what that's going to look like in Seattle in a matter of months, weeks, perhaps. We'll see, Jason. We'll be checking in with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.